Hello everyone, I Deepika Devasmita Panda, and now we will discuss on torque of a three-phase induction motor. So, the torque of an induction motor is the torque produced at the rotor. Hence, T equals TR, or we can say TR is the rotor torque. In case of DC motor, the torque equals armature torque, or we can say TA, where it was TA equals KFIA, where F is the flux produced by the field winding which is pulsating in nature. Similarly, in case of an induction motor, the torque is also proportional to the product of flux produced in the stator and the rotor current, or we can say TR equals phi into IA. However, there is another factor which is to be taken is power factor, because in this case both flux and current are alternating in nature, and of course we are dealing with AC machines, or we can say we are dealing with alternating current here. So power factor is to be considered. So therefore torque of induction motor, or we can say TR equals K into phi into I2 into cos phi 2, where I2 is the rotor current and phi is the flux produced in the stator. Phi 2 is the phase angle between rotor EMF and rotor current, that is the angle between E2 and I2. As we know, flux phi equals K into E2. Therefore, we can also write the rotor torque TR equals K E2 I2 cos phi 2, where K is a proportionality constant. So now we will move towards the starting torque of an induction motor. The torque developed by the motor at the instant of starting is called as starting torque. Let consider E2 is the rotor EMF per phase at standstill condition. R2 is the rotor resistance per phase. X2 is the rotor reactance per phase at standstill condition, and Z2 is the rotor impedance per phase at standstill condition. Also, standstill or starting torque here will be T starting equals K E2 I2 cos phi 2, we know. So, starting torque is the torque we know when the motor starts, and at the start, as it is clear that the rotor speed n is 0, the motor has not yet rotated at the instant of starting, so the value of slip becomes 1. We know the formula, you can see here, slip S is Ns minus N by Ns. If here N is neglected, or we can say N is 0, slip becomes Ns by Ns, which is 1. So the equation of starting torque is easily obtained by simply putting the value of S or slip as 1 in the equation of torque of the three-phase induction motor. So here instead of Sx2, we will put S equal to 1. Instead of S into E2, we will simply put S equal to 1. So, the equation becomes T equals E2 square R2 by R2 square plus X2 square. Okay, because we know this is E2 and I2 formula is R2 by Z, which is R2 by R2 square plus X2 square into 3 by 2 pi NH Newton meter. This is the value of K, which is a constant, and the starting torque is also known as the standstill torque of the induction motor. Now, the resistance of a squirrel cage motor is fixed and small as compared to its reactance, which is very large especially at the starting time, because at standstill the frequency of the rotor current equal the supply frequency. Listen, we know for a squirrel cage motor the resistance value is very small when compared to its reactance value at the time of starting. And also note, the frequency of the rotor current equal to the frequency of the supply frequency, because frequency of rotor current equals S into F. If S is 1, then frequency value will be equal to 1 into F, or simply rotor frequency equals system frequency. Hence, the starting current I2 of the rotor is very large in magnitude and lags by the very large angle E2, with the result that the starting torque per ampere is very poor in case of induction motor. Hence, such motors are not useful where the motor has to start against heavy loads. Note this. These type of motors are not useful if they are to start against heavy loads. Now, torque of induction motor under running condition. Let ER is the rotor EMF per phase under running condition. IR is the rotor current per phase under running condition. We know ER equal to S into E2. Slip is considered here. IR equal to ER by ZR. ZR value is this much, ER value is this much. Cos phi 2 is nothing but R2 by R2 square plus SX2 square. Since T proportional to ER IR cos phi 2, we can write T is proportional to S phi E2R2 by R2 square plus SX2 square. So finally we will get the value as torque at running condition equals K1 S E2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 square. Now come to condition for maximum starting torque. It can be proved that starting torque is maximum when the rotor resistance equals the rotor reactance. We know that starting torque TST equals K2 R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. So, we will take the derivative of starting torque and we will equate it to the zero value. So, here we have done the derivation, which becomes K2 by taking outside, it will be 1 by R2 square plus X2 square minus R2 whole into 2R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square whole square. In the next step, we will be getting R2 square plus X2 square is 2R2 square. By solving this whole equation, we will get R2 equals X2, which is nothing but the condition for maximum torque in an induction motor. So, when slip equals R2 by X2, the torque will be maximum, and this slip is called maximum slip or denoted as SM, and it is defined as the ratio of rotor resistance to the rotor reactance. The equation of torque becomes T equals S E2 square R2 by R2 square plus S X2 square. Now we will put the value for maximum torque condition. Instead of slip, we will write R2 by X2, which becomes T max equals K whole into E2 square by 2X2 square Newton meter. So, this is the condition of maximum torque in an induction motor. Thank you, everyone.